So if you haven't seen season 3, watch season 3 so I don't spoil it for you. Sorry. What to watch Wednesday? What to watch Wednesday? I need a new show to watch today. A movie, a show, I know me knows what to watch Wednesday. What to watch Wednesday? Yeah. Ignore the blinds. My nephew come up in here and he messed them up real bad. He's 2. That's all I can say about that. He's 2. Anyways, hi guys, what is up everybody? It is your girl, Lacheyy. Welcome to my channel. So, long time no see. It's been a while. And just, honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, just rolling with the punches in life. Not even really gonna get into it. Just know that, as a content creator and someone who vowed to always provide amazing content for you guys, I am trying my very best, and I always will try my very best. So just want to get that out there, but let's go ahead and get into today's video. Oh my gosh. I've wanted to start this segment for so long. I just owe it to myself to actually start it. So here I am starting it. Your inspiration from the week. If you want to do it, just do it. Nike.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Appreciate it.
Kidding. Nike has nothing to do with this post or me. It just, yeah, one day though, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll see if it's in the cards for your girl. So I decided to do this segment on my channel called What to Watch Wednesday, where I tell you good shows and movies to watch on, the beautiful streaming sites of Netflix and Hulu. And I've lately gotten into like the ones that not everybody's into. So like Stars and HBO and Showtime, different apps have different shows. It just is what it is. That's why you have to have Netflix and Hulu. Like, one isn't better than the other because they both provide different things, in my personal opinion. This segment is solely for shows that you can binge watch. I will also do segments on shows that you should not touch with a 10-foot pole. So let's get into it. Today's What to Watch Wednesday is going to be on the show You. I love You. If you haven't seen You already, then like, you're missing out. I'm trying to figure out how to give this to you guys without spoiling anything. I'll tell you the basis of the show. You have a guy named Joe, which is one of the most basic names, but you have a guy named Joe and he loses his complete mind. The way the show starts, you can tell he never had it. He never had a mind to begin with.
Hey man, did you want a bump? Yeah. Whoa, bro.
But no, Joe, there's no hope for Joe. And the show really showed that. Joe just falls in love with these women, long story short, and he becomes obsessed and he stalks them.
Guy needs to protect himself. I had to be sure you're safe. The next thing our little friend the internet gave me was your address. There it is, with its big naked windows.
Anyone in their life that is standing in the way of him and the current girl that he's going after, because it's many, I'll just say he'll get them out of the way. Any way that he possibly can. Now, the thing about Joe is he doesn't want to be a murderer, but I don't know. I'm the type of person, I don't think you can really say I'm not a murderer after you've just murdered somebody. And it wasn't manslaughter. So That's just me. Yeah, sorry, Joe. You were definitely a mass murderer, buddy. Maybe not a mass murderer, but he's definitely a serial killer. Joe is a serial killer. In season 1 and 2, you're just gonna see Joe go through extreme measures and a large, obscene amount of hoops to get to these women that he wants.
Oh, she's dead. Of course she's dead. She fell. That's right. She fell. I'm not a bad person. She was going to ruin you, but you're safe now, thanks to me. I just want you to live your best life. It's brave what I do for you. It's not easy. It's hard. Sometimes it makes me sick. I'm brave. How many guys are willing to do anything for the person they love? Honestly, Beck, you're lucky to have me.
Where my issues lie and where it's gonna get really good with Joe is that he genuinely wants these women, but the issue with it is that when he gets them, I don't know if it's like self-sabotage. I'm not quite sure. All I know is he loses his mind and the relationship, oh, it ends. I'll put it to you this way. One of them is walking at the end of each relationship, just one of them. So I'll put it to you that way without trying to spoil it. However, I'm not gonna lie, this is going to be a spoiler for season 3 because there are just some things in season 3 that I want to talk about that I don't think I cannot necessarily spoil. So if you haven't seen season 3, watch season 3 so I don't spoil it for you. Sorry. It was kind of like a crime thriller. Like, believe me, the whole time you're on the edge of your seat because there are detectives on Joe's trail and you're trying to see if he is going to get caught. Like, that's something, and you is so strange because you end up kind of rooting for the bad guy. Like, you know, most times we're not rooting for the bad guy. Most times we are, go to jail, go to hell. It's hard because it like paints this mirrored metaphorical picture of Joe, and you know, you kind of think to yourself, like, there are going to be times in the show where you're like, you definitely should be put down like a dog, and then there are going to be times in the show where you're like, I feel so bad for you, I know why you murdering all these people. And I don't think that should ever be the case. I don't think we should, you know, relate to why somebody is murdering. But at that same time, you'll see where his, I don't want to say moral compass because I don't feel like he has a moral compass. But you will see where his head and heart lies in the decisions that he makes, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Future me here editing. Hi. So essentially that's the beauty of the show. You find yourself rooting for like a serial killer or like this, I don't necessarily want to say horrible person, but more so this person who's done very horrible things, and you're rooting for him and you're like, you're gonna make it in life and you're gonna be okay, even though you have this body and this body under your belt, even though like you're taking out anybody who gets in your way, you're gonna make it. I love you. And that's ultimately the beauty of this show, because you're like, wait, what? No, you are a horrible person. Go to jail, underneath the jail. You're just gonna love and hate him. You literally can't watch You without loving him, but you also can't watch You without hating him, especially after what happened in season 3, because child, oh my gosh. So that's the general basis of You season 1 and 2. You'll see some familiar faces, a lot of new actors in this. Obviously it's a Netflix series, so it's kind of like, you know, you're gonna see some people you do know and you're gonna see some people you don't know. So 2 of the people you see that you do know are Penn Badgley. I think I said it right, but I think I always get it mixed up. I want to say Ben Padgley, but it's Penn Badgley. He is from Gossip Girl. That's our main character. That's Joe. And he played Dan, what was his name in Gossip Girl? Dan Humphrey in Gossip Girl. And then you have Peaches in season 1, who is she played Emily on Pretty Little Liars, but what is her name in real life? Excuse me while I Google, because what is her name in real life? Like any other time, I can say her name, and I can't say her name in this one. I just can't. So let's see what her name is. And I'm gonna know it when I see it. Shay Mitchell. Child.
Boo, you whore.
Yeah, so Lovely Peaches is played by Shay Mitchell, and I love it. It was refreshing to see her in a completely different role other than the struggling, sad Emily from Pretty Little Liars. So yeah, as far as any other actors from You that you might know of, hold on. Excuse me while I Google. Why do I always have to sing? Tati Gabriel, who you'll see in season 3, she actually played in something before that I just can't put my finger on it. Was she in the 100? She was in the 100. I just got so nerdy there for a minute. Tati Gabriel, who is in You season 3, played in the 100. I think she was a grounder, or the grounder's daughter. Yeah, I think she ended up dying in there. Spoiler alert for the 100. Sorry. Also, there was this one person I forgot. Her name is Michaela McManus. I just didn't know her name. She played in the show One Tree Hill as the girl who was going to marry Lucas. Now, who she is in You, she's the neighbor. She's Natalie. So yeah, she was in there for like a second, but yeah, I'll go ahead and play you a clip from One Tree Hill just so you see what I'm talking about.
Turn off the ventilator because my mother was too destroyed to do it. You want to hear the sound he made before he took that last breath? Oh, because I can still hear it exactly how it sounded.
So you don't see a lot of familiar faces, but as you watch this show, you do come to fall in love with the characters and the actors. Now let's get into the meat of all of this, which is You season 3, why you should watch it, what went wrong, my thoughts and opinions, and giving flowers to the lovely and past, spoiler alert, Victoria Pedretti. I think that's her name. Yeah, I got it right. Victoria Pedretti. She gone. But it was at the end, the very end of the season, and even though I told you she died, the way that it happens is beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see. Beautiful acting from both Penn and Victoria, but it was one of those things where it was much needed. Like, it was much needed for her to go. Just too much was going on. It was not giving what it was supposed to give. She, like her husband, was a girl who needed to be put down like a dog if need be. Just rabid, crazy, lost her mind. Now let's get into season 3 and what went wrong. So my honest opinion on season 3. Also, why you should watch You. I'm gonna go ahead and give flowers to season 1, and I'm gonna give flowers to season 2. I don't know if I can give flowers to season 3. And the reason why I'm saying that is because season 3 felt rushed. And all of my You fans out there who've already seen it, I think you know what I'm talking about. Everything happened so quickly, so fast. And if it's in the style of writing based from the character Joe's perspective, then I can respect it. But as a viewer who didn't quite grasp the context of why it was so rushed, I don't think I would have respected it. Remember when I said that Joe becomes like super obsessed with these women? I'm gonna put it to you this way. In season 3, he ends up getting married to Love. Now how that happens, you'll have to watch season 2. He didn't want to marry her, he married her. But now in season 3, he ends up getting married to her, and they have a kid, and they have a family, and they're literally, they've reached the pinnacle of their life. They're both working. She opens up her bake shop again, and he is in the library again because, you know, can't get away from them books. And they actually have like the life, like that white picket fence life. And he's just not okay with it. He's not okay with having a normal life and being a normal citizen, even though he's constantly telling his wife, Love, to be normal and be kind and, you know, don't kill people, don't do that, you know, we're normal. But the whole time, because mind you, his wife is gorgeous. The whole time he's pining after another woman. And as he's pining after this other woman, Mariette, is her name Mariette? Marianne. Ah, heck. Mariette. I don't remember her name. Mariette. Ah, give me a second. Marianne. Okay, so, yes. He's pining after another woman, Marianne. And Marianne ain't even that into him in the beginning, so how this eventually happened is beyond me. It took an adoption story for her to drop her panties for him. I just... Okay. Anyways, because sis was not sweating him. She was not sweating him whatsoever in the beginning. She didn't even want to like him. Yeah, I don't even know. So he's pining after her, and obviously, like, this is gonna bring in an intermix of, like, woman scorned, you know, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. And, you know, you're gonna see that side of his wife that comes out that's like, oh, you know, scorned and hurt, like, you don't love me. So, like, she's gonna react, you know, kind of naturally, like, oh, a woman should not, but would. And that, as women, is something that you're gonna relate to wholeheartedly. But then you see this other side of Joe where he's pulling away from his wife because he feels like she's a complete monster, and he's a saint. He's a saint and she's a monster, let him tell it. And with that being in his head, he's like, I've got to get my wife out of the picture, and I've got to, you know, take my kid on with me. Well, this is when I say that things were rushed. Long story short, the happy family is a happy family no more. He realizes at the end that he's a monster and that his wife is a monster, so they can't have their kid. So he literally gets rid of the both of them. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not. But I want to keep that part vague. Even though there's a spoiler, I want to keep it vague about what happens to the kid and what happens to the wife. Well, you already know she died, but I want to keep it quite vague on the details. But basically, this season was so rushed to the point where it literally showed you how he works as a human. Sorry, excuse for one anyway. He will have it all and throw it all away just to continue his obsession with women. And so the way that it does end, he no longer has a wife. He no longer has a kid. In fact, he kills himself. No, let me rephrase before y'all freak out. He doesn't kill himself. He kills himself. He kills Joe. So in season 4, there is no more Joe. He's under a completely different name. I think it was like David or something like that. I can't remember. Or no, it's Nick. I remember because he was in a certain country and they were like, Nick. So yeah, I remember that now. Which does not suit him. He does not look like a Nick. But anyway, you just see how he takes this beautiful, wonderful life. And I'm not talking like a life of struggle. Like, they were loaded with cash and they were not struggling for a thing. And he was living that life, like that suburban lifestyle, and he threw it all away just because he wanted to continue his next obsession. And I think that's where I have an issue with Joe. Like, you couldn't just, maybe, let's say that you are still obsessed with these women. Like, you couldn't just stay with your wife and I guess, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. They literally gave us a story to just take it completely away. And to me, that's my issue with season 3. That just doesn't seem realistic. Like, yeah, I'm sure somebody could kill themselves off, but like, you really took away the mother and the child and the life he once lived. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's where I have beef with the writers for season 3, because it just don't make sense. So yeah, You is definitely a show to watch to get your thriller juices moving, and something that's exciting and invigorating and something that's just different, because it's different. If you love true crime, You is kind of the way to go. But remember, You is fictional, so it's not like any of this is real. And also too, because season 3 come out around the time of the Gabby Petito incident, when they were coming back, they were keeping up with the times. So you'll hear them use words in there such as missing white woman syndrome, when a certain character is killed off, which that's another thing I had an issue with. Okay, this woman was killed off in the first episode. Like, it's one thing to be killed off in the season because, like, you know you're gonna die. Like, he's crazy, you're gonna die. You don't stand a chance with him, you gonna die. But in the first episode, Shawty didn't stand a chance. She didn't stand a chance. But anyway, social media, when it comes to influencer culture and stuff like that, you can just tell they're trying to keep up, like, with the modern times, and that's fine for a show to do that. Just don't overdo it. Like, I think the missing white woman syndrome and all the, like, the stuff about I'm a black woman in America, nothing is paved out for me, not like you white women and men, like, that was just something that I don't really feel like needed to be in there, just because, like, it really wasn't necessary. You could tell that the person that it came from, because if you watch it, you'll see. You could tell that the person that it came from, it was just highly unnecessary, especially for the situation that it was set in. So that's why I'm kind of like, you can tell they're trying so hard to put in certain stuff, and it's like, please don't. Please don't. This is not the show for that, not the time for that, not the move for that. Like, there are people who are trying to get that message out, and they are working by themselves and getting it done. They don't need you throwing it in the show for, like, you know, shits and giggles just to toss it around, you know? So, I don't know. That was something that just didn't sit right with me. But other than that, yeah, you should watch You if you haven't seen it already. You should watch You. I'm watching you. I'm so good at it. I'm so damn good at it. Alright, you guys. So I believe that is all that I have for this video. Yeah, it is. I checked with my brain. And if you want to keep up with What to Watch Wednesday, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And go ahead and hit that like button and share this video. And that is all that I have to say today. Before you guys go, don't forget to always break the mold, stay inspired, and be unique. And with all that being said, Mimi, love you.
What to Watch Wednesday? What to Watch Wednesday? I need a new show to watch today. A movie, a show, I know me and knows what to watch Wednesday. What to Watch Wednesday? Yeah.